Alright, now good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into round number 7 of the Ride365.com Nationals powered by Versus-PC.com. I've already said all this bit, but apparently the stream wasn't really loading in correctly. So let's go ahead and just make sure that we can see. Well, people are saying ads, but the stream should be up now, so hopefully you guys can catch us. Of course, I'm speaking to all of our live viewers. For those of you watching back on YouTube that may be confused what's going on right now, we broadcast these live every Thursday night all summer long on twitch.tv/startyoursystemstv, kicking off at 5:30 with the pre-show, and then right now it is currently 6:04 p.m. So at 6 o'clock we jump into this broadcast here, which is the 250 broadcast, which you're obviously either watching back on YouTube or watching live right now. And we are currently watching the 250 consolation race circulating here at Southwick. And the top 4 of these guys will go into the motos. The other 36 or so guys have already qualified their way in, and we're just waiting for the final 4 of these gentlemen to make it all the way through as well. So we'll see who makes it out of this one into the motos. But while they are doing that, I can go ahead and tell you a little bit more information about this week's race, the 7th round of the Ride365.com Nationals, powered by Versus-PC.com at Southwick. And as I said, we will be streaming the 250 class from here until roughly 7:30 to 7:50, somewhere in that window. So an hour and 30 to an hour and 45 minutes from now, somewhere in there. After that, we'll just jump off the stream just like real quick. Don't go anywhere, because coming up after that, Jeremy Hinners, who we will see in the 250 motos in just a moment, will be racing, and then he will be streaming the 450 class so that I can race. So that is the 411 for the presentation tonight. As it goes, the 250 consolation race is on the track right now. It will be immediately followed by 250 Moto 1, runs 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Followed by a 5 to 10 minute break roughly following that first 250 moto, and then line them up again right there and going. 250 Moto 2, back to back these 250 guys run, because it's a video game and realistically you shouldn't have any fatigue, although sometimes when you play this game you can get finger pump or wrist pump or whatever, but usually it's not too bad, and we just kick these guys right back out there again, run another 30 plus 2. And as I said, we'll take that quick stream break, but take the batteries out of your remote, ladies and gentlemen, because we aren't going anywhere. And Jeremy Hinners will take over the 450 consolation race and the 450 moto. Same exact format as the 250 class, just an hour and 40 minutes from now. So we're so glad that you joined us tonight, live here on Start Your Systems TV. As I may have already mentioned, my name is Kellen Brauer, the co-founder of Start Your Systems, with the one and only Jeremy Hinners being the other co-founder, and that's why us two tag team this live stream business. And we hope you guys have an enjoyable evening. As we said, just 250 consolation race right now, so not a whole lot going on. In fact, there's only about 11 people running in this one. 10 actually, and one of them did not make the start, so there's only 9 racing. We see that Moto A Go Go is out here, so always good to see Moto Go Go. He live streams the Amateur Nationals, does this man right here. That is the Tagger Designs Amateur Nationals, presented by Reed Meta. And yeah, he live streams that business. That goes on every Sunday night at the same time as this, so it kicks off around 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And there's different variations of amateur classes out there, and Moto Go Go is trying his luck at the pro class tonight. But Moto does a killer job. That's twitch.tv/Moto A Go Go. Almost at 2,000 subscribers on Twitch is Moto Go Go, so he's killing the game over there. Good to see him doing so well. So definitely check out his amateur live streams, because they're kick-ass, bro. By the way, quick question in chat from a few people that I've seen already tonight is, why did we not have any videos uploaded to our Start Your Systems YouTube channel yet this week? I mean, if you want the long story of it, it was that 4th of July was Monday. I got drunk, then was hungover the next day, so couldn't really do much of anything because I couldn't see straight. So drink responsibly, please. Then Wednesday, I was going to do virtual lap and track walk. That's usually my days that I do those two things. However, the track did not come out until late Wednesday night. And so I spent the middle of the day doing something completely different that you'll actually see the benefits of in the near future to help out our channel a little bit. Hopefully that gets things rolling. I won't give too many details, but you'll see what I'm talking about soon. And then I did virtual lap this morning when I woke up right away, and that wasn't on Verb Moto last time I saw, but it might be already. And then did not get a time to do track walk as I needed to run some laps on Southwick. I needed to create the cameras, the title image, needed to do some promo for it, download all the skins as usual. Pretty much I'm just making excuses. There's no excuses why we shouldn't have videos out, but I'm just explaining what the whole deal with that is anyway. So these guys are about to click onto that 4th lap of this 4-lap race, and the top 4 will transfer, so these guys are looking good. That's Russ Chapman and Phil Doyon out front, 1 and 2. They are well and truly leading this thing away from Stefan Guido. It's kind of a surprise to see Mr. Guido here in the consolation race, although he is a rider out of Switzerland, I believe, so it's pretty late there, or early if you will. He may have not got much time on the track this week with it being out so late, and then probably only got basically last night for him, but tonight for us, if that makes any sense, to put in some laps. So maybe he just missed out. I'm sure he'll do just fine once the motos start, but this battle for 4th is raging between Tristan Runyons and Dale Mullins. Jeff Cooper not too far off the back of them. They have dropped Logan Higney and Moto Agogo, but only one of these 3 gentlemen will make it into the motos, or perhaps none of them if they all collect each other. Logan Higney could be the next one to come through. But look at these guys going at it. Mullins just got around Runyons, and Cooper is trying to follow his way through. He's going to cut to the inside here. And, oh, swinging wide, gets into the back of him, front end lock, and then cuts the track. Gets on right behind him, but man, look at these guys still going at it. And Runyon's going after Mullins here. That's Dale Mullins. That is not Jesse Mullins' relative whatsoever. Just same last name, but these guys are going at it. Oh, and then Mullins slides out, so Runyons is going to get the spot back. And these guys are playing musical last spot in the consi right now. Jeff Cooper trying the inside line. Does not work, so he's down. He may be out of this battle. As Chapman and Doyon still just running away with this thing. Oh, we lost Runyons. I didn't even see that. I was very confused. So Mullins, Dale Mullins that is, now all alone in 4th. Whew. He's getting some gnarly kicks. Up front it is Chapman though that takes the win. Doyon follows him home a close second. Guido should be all good in 3rd. And Dale Mullins. So you're going to hang on to that 4th and final spot. Not with that. That is not good for Dale Mullins. He was only 2 corners from the finish, and he goes down. Jeff Cooper is going to get by, but he goes off the track now, and he's making some mistakes. So now Dale Mullins, he's going to have to go after him here. Remember, Cooper did cut the track about a half a lap ago from here, but as of now, Jeff Cooper is going to bring it home, and he will get the last transfer into the motos. And Mullins, if he'd only kept it close, he may have gotten Cooper on cuts, but he freaked out, slid out. 5.5 seconds is probably going to be far too much. Tristan Runyons also not going through. Neither will Moto Agogo, Logan Higney, Cortland Knopp, Jackass Terry, or anybody else who did not make the race tonight. Oh, Chapman. What is he doing over there? So Moto Gogo over the line, Higney over the line, and we'll just wait on Cortland Knopp to bring it home. Once again, Knopp is not actually number 32. That number belongs to Jack Haley, we determined last week. But that's okay. He is not going to make the motos. He would not be subject to a penalty at this point, as he is not in a official RF-sanctioned point-scoring event. But there is a rule in the rulebook under RF Gaming that you need to run your correct number. And as Cortland Knopp is not a national number or a career number holder for that matter, he does not deserve or allowed to run a double-digit number. He should be running a triple-digit number. But that's okay. He is yet to make the motos and yet to run into that problem. So he comes over the line. Cuts are in. And 117 got 1.04 seconds of cut. So had Mullins stayed right there with him, he may have gotten it, but he crashed in the last corner, so he ends up missing out. Runyon's, Motogogo, and Heagney also not going through with Cortland Knopp. So going through is Jeff Cooper, Guido, Doyon, and Rush Chapman. And that, my friends, will queue up, I think, 250 Moto 1 parade lap, and I will go ahead and feed you guys a nice long rundown of all 40 gentlemen that are supposed to be lining up for tonight's 250 Pro National at Southwick in MX Simulator. I don't know what I was thinking, trying to go for a TH sound, but it's Southwick, not Southwick. I digress, though. All right, here is your official starters order for the 2016 Southwick 250 National right here on Star Systems TV tonight. Number 150 of Jeremy Cohenauer lining up with Phil Bull, Zach Prokop, Charlie Way, Jeff Cooper, Dade Honeywell, Derek Thorpe, Jake Rose, Jordan Moxey, Colt Mitchell, Chase Donovan, Rush Chapman, Kale Simrock, Craig Leak. Just 1 second, if you will. There we are. Taylor Bell, Zoa Cross, Ryan Turner, Connor Holiak, Fred Heather, Gunnar Fugler, Jesse Calloway, Tyler Lewis, Finn Collins, Edward Mora, Francis Heather, Stefan Guido, Devin Ryan, Jeremy Hinners, Chase DeSell, Matt Burkeen, Cody Branson, Dominic Saulnier, Clint Martin, Mats Orstad, so that must be a foreign rider, Tanner Rogers, Chase Blakely, Jonathan Hughes, Zach Ginter, and Phil Doyon, and I'm only seeing 39 runners on this list here, so that must mean somebody missed the call for the starting line. And I am going to do exactly what Alex Heckman just asked me to do in chat, and that is check for who is on 125s. Chris Riesenberg and Justin Smedley putting up $50 to whoever can win a moto on a 125 or finish top 3 in both motos on a 125 tonight. That same thing applies to the 450 class tonight, but it is on a 252 stroke instead there. And so far, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, not hearing and or seeing any 125s out there. So that's kind of a shame. Yep, not seeing anything actually. Burkeen not even on one, which is kind of weird. Defending champion, normally customarily running something unique. He's running the wrong number on the back of his jersey, but cool to see the defending champ out here nonetheless. And yeah, nobody on a 125, so that call for finishing top 3 in both motos or winning a moto on a 125 tonight at Southwick is going to be untaken. I think Chris's $50 and or Chris and Justin Smedley's $50 for that matter is going to be safe, at least in this class. So it's a little unfortunate we don't see any of the two smokers out here trying to go after that prize, and someone bringing up that we already did see a 125 win this year. That's right, we saw Connor Holiak win the High Point National on a 125, but I think the point that Chris and Justin Smedley were getting at is that we wanted to see somebody absolutely destroy this sand track on a 125, as it's already hard enough to race these underpowered bikes in the sand. It would be even crazier to do so on a bike with half the cubic centimeters in it. But that all doesn't matter anymore because we've got 30 minutes plus 2 laps lined up for you fine folks here tonight. Getting ready, getting set to go, and I want to take a look at, well, let's just take a look at Jared Seidhoff, shall we? It's going to be right about in the middle, so right where we want to see. We got 30 minutes plus 2 laps lined up for you guys. 250 Moto 1 from Southwick, just about set to go as JLV runs off the track. Let's go racing at Southwick. Oh, and it's a good jump from the 52 of Holiak up the inside. It almost looked like Leak was going to get there, and he actually does as Holiak gets ran over going into turn 1. So it was Craig Leak, number 53, with the Ride365.com hole shot, but right into the lead is your defending champion, Matt Burkeen. Of course, Burkeen has only raced about 3 rounds this year, so he's nowhere near in the championship hunt, but he's up front early, looking to maybe steal a moto win from these guys, get some valuable points in this championship hunt that's going on between Jared Seidhoff and Dade Honeywell. He's leading early on over Craig Leak, who is going after him already over the fly racing tabletop, into the back and into the lead he goes. Leak out front, trying to pick up right where he left off. Last week he won the second moto at Redbud after an abysmal 14th place in the first moto, so did not end up too well in the overall classifications, but did eke out his first career race victory. He's trying to go for number 2 right now. Burkeen on his tails. Chase Blakely a little bit ways back already with Jesse Calloway right behind him. Then we see Seidhoff just getting past, or just passing rather, Tyler Lewis. So there's your points leader, number 20 on the LaFlame Suzuki. Tyler Lewis, Colt Mitchell, Clint Martin, Chase DeSalle, Cody Branson, Jake Rose, all these guys running up near the front. Cale Simrock, Jordan Moxie, Ryan Turner, Finn Collins, Connor Holiak, Derek Thorpe, Dominic Saulnier, Russ Chapman getting out of shape with Fred Heather right behind. We got a rider down in the corner. That's Holiak on the very inside with his teammate. Maybe that was Callaway or something. And we see a bunch of other guys coming through. We saw Hinners, Donovan there. Trying to look for Dade Honeywell. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing the number 17 machine. Oh, he's up near the front, it looks like, actually. Maybe I'm missing. There he is, right behind Russ Chapman. He's running in the 17 spot, so this is your other championship contender. At least has been in the past few weeks. Looked great at the first 5 rounds, but last week at Redbud, very, very disappointing week for him. Salvaged some decent points, but still lost a big chunk in the championship standings towards Jared Seidhoff's point lead. Out front, Leak starting to run away a little bit already. Burkeen slipping back into the clutches of the guys behind him. Leak just riding right along the edge of the track there, looking smooth. As we said, he did win that moto, that second moto at Redbud last week, so he knows now that he can win these things. And maybe just one moto win is all it's going to take to springboard him into this championship hunt. Looking smooth out front already. Seidhoff, though, wants to make quick work of these guys and get out front and get gone if he can. Down the inside of Burkeen. Burkeen around the outside holds onto it for now. Seidhoff already looking for a way through. We saw this out of Seidhoff last week at Redbud, particularly in the first moto where he ended up just kind of popped into second fairly early, but by the time he was into second, unfortunately for his sake, Connor Linz was already long gone at the front, and Linz did go ahead and win that moto, and he ended up winning the overall last week with a 1-4. So Seidhoff maybe wants to get that overall win here at Southwick today. Trying to run down Matt Burkeen, defending 250 National Motocross Champion. Burkeen raced most of the Supercross season indoors on a 450. Actually won 2 main events. Oh boy, and Seidhoff almost jumps into the back of him. But back to Burkeen, who slides out. We've seen him on a 450 most of this season. We did see him show up on a 125 earlier on, I believe back at Glen Helen it was. He was on a 125 in this 250F class. So it's not the same Burkeen that won the championship last year, not the same speed or anything like that, but he's still a quick mofo in this game. So Colton Mitchell finds himself in the 4th spot with Chase DeSalle running in 5th. I did download Prime Design Graphics' new pack, and I don't seem to have it for some reason. I sure hope Jeremy got it. As a big shakeup in the 450 class this week, Jesse Mullins joins the like of Jeremy Siebold, Chase DeSalle, and some others as being perennial team hoppers as he team hops right out of TBR onto Prime Design. So goes half the season with TBR. He's now over at Prime Design Graphics to, I guess, finish out the rest of the season. He still is your points leader, though, as that was Jake Rose that just got absolutely ran over by Clint Martin, who appears to be lagging for those guys. Obviously, we're in warm-up mode, so we can't see that. But maybe he's got the James Schuler internet going on here, and he's just kind of running people over. He just absolutely destroyed Jake Rose, and nothing happened to him. So that was very, very interesting. Here we find Honeywell. He's right behind Derek Thorpe here in the early running. So already finding his way towards the front, but not too far up the field yet. Not exactly where he wants to be, at least. Going to get a freebie spot right there around the outside of Chase Blakely, who just tipped over the Tiger Designs Honda back here. Blakely also gets undone by Chase DeSalle. And here goes Honeywell trying to pull alongside of Thorpe, launches down into the canyon, going to try to make this inside line work. It's a tricky one. He almost gets it, and he does. He powers into the next corner, gets Thorpe just around the outside, so nice move by Honeywell. Meanwhile, battle for the lead already heating up, so we saw Seidhoff get into the 2 spot not that long ago after Burkeen made a mistake. It was pretty much a lap ago, actually, and he's already onto the back of Leak, so that just kind of goes to show you where Seidhoff's mentality is win, win, win. He wants to keep that points lead growing this week. Oh, but he's down! Loses the front end into the final corner, and he is off the bike, so that is 2 spots gone. Fortunately, that is just it. So Burkeen and Colton Mitchell get around. So Mitchell finds himself up here in the early runnings, already around Burkeen for the number 2 spot. These guys are trying to go after Craig Leak. Oh, we got a rider down. That is Jordan Moxie, who is running up at the front. He just lost about 4 or 5 spots. And a couple more right there. Tyler Lewis just got over the back of him. That was very close. Behind him, Holiak, Chapman coming through. There's Devin Ryan, Phil Doyon, Jake Rose, Dominic Saulnier, Cody Branson, Fred Heather with, is that Finn Collins? Yeah, right behind him. And Zoe Cross. Oh, Finn Collins looking for the inside. This is a battle of 2 English-speaking gentlemen from different sides of the pond as Collins gets by but goes down. As I was saying, Fred Heather from Great Britain, Collins from Australia, probably just dealing with absolute awesome lag around each other, I'm sure. But look at the battle that this has created with Heather getting kind of held up when Collins went down, and that's allowed Zoe Cross and Chase Donovan to get in the mix, and we just lost Branson over the berm. Look at, there's Charlie Way also right behind with Cale Simrock and Zach Prokop swinging around the outside. So all these guys right up in this little battle here. Looking at the running order at the top of the screen, looks like Seidhoff has already made his way back into second, but he is 8.5 seconds down on your race leader, Craig Leak, who's having all kinds of issues. He's actually into some lappers. I noticed that on the other side of the screen. That is not Craig Leak, that is Connor Holiak. I don't know what I was thinking. They look so similar and they have similar numbers, but Leak is all fine out front. Meanwhile, this battle for third is raging. So Mitchell did get by, but Burkeen looks like he wants that spot back. Not going to get it just yet, though. Oh, Honeywell's up into 5th, so Honeywell, he must have gotten through. All those guys are stacking up in the S-curves back there. So there is Holiak, who I assumed was Craig Leak, but is not. They're running similar gear sets once again this week. They ran the exact same setups last week. And the only thing differentiating them was their number on their bike. and on the back of their jersey for that matter. Oh, and we've got a change for the lead, so Leak must have went down. He is a couple seconds behind Sidehoff now. That usually tells us that he had a fall-off crash, which is roughly 10 seconds on the ground. Was up 8, now back 2, and Sidehoff trying to run away already. Almost 10 minutes into this 30-minute plus 2-lap moto number 1. And Sidehoff out front from Craig Leak and Matt Burkeen. So Burkeen got back around Mitchell, who must have gone down because he's way back there. In fact, he's already getting under, attacked here from Dade Honeywell on the 17. Honeywell right onto the back wheel of Mitchell here. Almost had a big mistake exiting that corner there, but fortunately did not go down. Just trying to make a couple different lines work. You got to keep your momentum up on these 250 machines. So far these guys doing quite a good job at staying light and hauling the tail on this Southwick track, as Honeywell's going to try an inside move, far inside, all the way around the outside. Mitchell has the power. He's going to hang on to the spot and keeps the inside line going into the final corner before the finish line. There's a pretty good battle going on between these two guys. This is for 4th place on the track right now. They are about 17 seconds behind your race leader, Jared Sidehoff. So Honeywell really going after Mitchell, but has yet to get around him just yet. It's close. They launch off that single up to the highest point of the track here. Man, Honeywell really going after him, trying different lines, trying everything, but just as yet to make the pass. Want to stick with this battle because Honeywell, one of our championship contenders. This pass actually does mean quite a bit. Points-wise, as Honeywell gets a little fed up there, maybe you think, launches down to the inside, makes the pass. So he's finally around Colton Mitchell after pretty much being right on his ass for about a whole lap here. IRL, he would just have a jersey full of sand right now. Just be chomping down Southwick sand. But it's a game. So he's just sitting loftily behind his computer screen, wondering why Colton Mitchell probably didn't move over sooner. Top 3 pretty evenly split between Sidehoff. Actually, Craig Leak just made a mistake, so that's going to allow Burkeen to close in a little bit. But Burkeen not close enough yet to make a move. Honeywell will start closing in on Burkeen quite quickly. Derek Thorpe is running 6th, so once again another solid week for the Team Volcom rider. Just seems like he's just steady Eddie up here right inside of the top 10, or right there, just outside of the top 10. Pretty much every week we've seen him, or at least the last few weeks. He had a couple rough rounds. I want to say rounds 3 and 4 weren't the best for Mr. Derek Thorpe. But running 6th right now, trying to hold off Chase DeSalle, who's charging from behind. And Chase DeSalle using some off-the-track lines to close in. Connor Holiak right behind them, with Jesse Calloway and Chase Blakely, Rush Chapman, Clinton Martin, Devin Ryan, Jordan Moxie, Dominic Saunier, Charlie Way, Chase Donovan getting out of shape with Jeremy Cohenauer right there, Zoe Cross, Kale Simmerock, Jake Rose, Tyler Lewis, all these guys locked in a battle. This is right at the tail end of the top 20. This is, I think, for 16th place here. Front of this battle, Simmerock, we'll see scrolling across the top of the screen in a second as Tyler Lewis goes ass over tea kettle, coming into the U-turn there before the final corner. Oh, Jake Rose trying an inside move. This is actually for, What place is this? Charlie Way. So that was 20th, actually. Cimarrock is in 20th. Oh, but he might not be for long. Ripping battle for 20th going on here. Jake Rose wants it. Cimarrock has it. And let's see if Rose tosses it. Oh, they both kind of launch out to flat. Rose down the inside, and they're going to split. Kohenauer. His way is down on the outside. So Jake Rose just got a nice 3 for there. He went from 21st to 18th. Jordan Moxey is right on the back end of Devin Ryan here. This is a battle just outside of the top 10 right now. Both of these guys are not far off. They are right behind Clint Martin, too. So it looks like Ryan trying to close in on Martin, but simultaneously getting caught a little bit here, it looks like, perhaps by Jordan Moxey, who seems to be on a tear, using some off-track lines himself there. And Devin Ryan is right there on Clint Martin now, almost made a big mistake, and Martin just swapped his way into the gully there. Now coming alongside is Moxey, and Devin Ryan runs him right off the track damn near. Gave him almost no room. So now Moxey's going to switch up his line, try an inside move here as Ryan goes to the far outside. That line out there pretty good, and it leads you well into this jump here in the next section. So Ryan's going to hold the spot for now. And now Ryan trying to go after Clint Martin. This is a battle for 12th right now. Oh, look at Moxey sending it down the inside of Devin Ryan. I don't think these guys are going to play very nice with each other for long. So Moxey makes a pass on Ryan. Let's see if he'll go after Martin, perhaps, or if he'll just yard sail, and fortunately does not take Devin Ryan with him. Elsewhere, everything else kind of spread out. Oh, we've got a change for the lead as Seidhoff must have gone down somewhere. So we are past the halfway mark, and Craig Leak is at the front. But the big shakeup is that Dade Honeywell is into second. Oh, he's going to squeak around just there around. That's a 7:34, I believe. Oh, and then Honeywell, it goes down, and he gets taken out by the lapper. So Seidhoff back through. Leak is now leading. I was about to say that Honeywell being inside of Seidhoff is very instrumental for the championship, but that just went right out the door just then as he got involved. That may have actually been 134 Jonathan Hughes. I'm just going to guess, judging by the amount of lag bubble that was involved there with the thing Honeywell hit that kind of pitched him to the ground, that it was a rider not from the United States, Jonathan Hughes, a rider out of Great Britain. Of course, these servers are American servers that we play on. Nobody is playing LAN right now, which is what the Premier Esports League stuff does. MX Simulator, not Premier, but pretty fun nonetheless. Everybody else playing via internet connection all around the world, mostly within the United States, but there are people from as far away as India. We see Jack Haley show up tonight. He plays from India, so that's pretty much clear across the world from the United States where the servers are in the East Coast. Oh, Seidhoff having some more issues, almost went down there. Gotta be careful. Mitchell not too far away here as Honeywell still keeping things close. And as we are more than halfway before things get really raunchy, let's go ahead and do our top 10 rundown. Brought to you this week by Racetech Suspension in this 250 Moto 1 here from Southwick. Leading the way, last week's 250 Moto 2 winner from Redbud is the number 53 machine, Verb Moto Zone, Craig Leak, trying to make it back-to-back Moto wins, and he's looking awfully comfortable out front after he took the lead back from Seidhoff a few laps ago. And speaking of Mr. Seidhoff, your points leader in this 250 class is running in second on the LaFlame Suzuki. Number 20, can he close up to Leak? We will see. Time will tell. Third place, Colton Mitchell on the 831 Splitfire KTM. Kind of just been hovering here this whole time. He is still right there if things get really kicked off here to win the moto, and somebody just hopped over his back as he had to traverse 3 riders down in 3 separate ruts, but he's still holding on third. Honeywell trying to close up, was as high as second, now back to fourth. Number 17, Prime Designs Graphics Honda, getting a little out of shape. And he's right there behind Mitchell. Fifth place, last year's champion in the 250 class, number 1 on the Tiger Designs Honda, Matt Burkeen. Looking good in his return to racing tonight. Sixth place, occupied by the most impressive rider, I think, this year, is the number 784 Team Volcom Kawasaki, Derek Thorpe. Just steady Eddie up in the top 10 all the time, and once again running 6th here at Southwick. Chase to Sell holds down 7th. Prime Designs Graphics Honda, although he's running the KTM dyno, that's why I see it, because I don't have his skins, unfortunately. He is all under attack right now from 8th place, Connor Holiak on the Verb Moto Suzuki, the number 52 machine, looking for a way around, gonna swing around, not gonna get it done yet. 9th place, Chase Blakely, number 76 on the Tiger Designs Honda, and 10th is his teammate, Devin Ryan, number 108, also on the Tiger Designs Honda. So Tiger Designs, 3 guys up inside of the top 10. That's pretty good for the Tiger Designs Honda crew tonight. So hopefully they can stay there. And that has been your top 10 rundown halfway through 250 Moto 1 here at Southwick. Brought to you by Racetech Suspension. Racetech.com. Best you know is the best you've ridden. So Leak under attack once again from Seidhoff. And we will see just how well this is going to work out here. Again, just looking awfully comfortable, but that comfort doesn't always equal speed. And Seidhoff is really starting to close in. Just want to clarify in chat, Jack Haley is actually American. He just currently lives in India, so not technically Indian, just where he lives. This battle for the lead, though, is raging. What can Seidhoff do? He had him, he crashed, Leak got it back. Now here we go, round number 2. First time Leak just crashed all by himself, handed the lead to Seidhoff. This time, looks as though he's going to make Seidhoff work for this one. Holding the inside lines, running very good defensive lines, but he's kind of going back and forth to run him. So he's got to be careful. Seidhoff continues to close in, ever so close, but not quite there yet to do anything. That outside line looks pretty good as Leak almost looped it out, coming down the hill there. Oh man, Seidhoff is so close here. Inside line, may it work? He's gonna pull alongside, almost into the back of Leak. Whew. This battle is awesome. 22 and some change into this moto minutes-wise. So we are a little less than 8 minutes plus 2 laps away from the end of this thing. These guys are trying to go the whole way, but Seidhoff just yard sailed off of a SpongeBob there, so he's going to have to do it all over again, and this time he's going to have to get around Colton Mitchell as well. So we're going to go ahead and wait for Craig Leak to get to his spot on the track, and we'll go ahead and do one of those timed lap through the field business things that we've done the last couple weeks here. Meanwhile, just missed it, but Seidhoff crashed again when he got up, so Honeywell got, around him into the 3 spot. Again, that's just changing points in the championship landscape. Honeywell picking up 2 more towards the championship that Seidhoff is not going to get. Honeywell once again getting a little hung up. Mitchell just kind of running his own race here. Has yet to win his first career race, but he has been oh so fast. He was ridiculously talented in the off-season races. Then RF implemented that license system again. He was forced down to the 250 class where he has stayed. In the off-season races, he was racing only a 450, and he looked awfully comfortable on it. So maybe next year, if Mitchell decides to move up, watch out. That kid is raging fast on a 450. And the young lad is only 14 years old. So as I said, we are going to do that lap through the field business that we saw these last few rounds that I like to do. Hinners hasn't particularly done it, but here we go nonetheless. Here is your race leader, Craig Leak, through the first section of rollers. You have to go a little ways back, about 7 seconds. There is 8:31. Colton Mitchell runs second. 17, Dade Honeywell, that is third. And the 20, your points leader, Jared Seidhoff, is fourth. This is the 919, I want to say. There's 726 at Simrock going by. He's a lap down. 132, that's Taylor Bell. He is a lap down. We're waiting for 5th place Matt Burkeen to come through. And he should be coming through just any second now. There he is. Number 1. That is 5th place. You can see how far back of the leaders he is already. Here's 6, Chase DeSalle, number 29. Hinners, 14, a lap down. 7th, Derek Thorpe, 781. At 46 of Mora is also a lap down. So this is not 8th. That's a 317. That is not 8th either. That's a 117 of Jeff Cooper. That is not 8th either. The 660. That is the 8th place ride. 219 Jordan Moxie. 9th place is Chase Blakely on the 76. 10th place, Jesse Callaway, yeah, 318. 11th, that's Jake Rose. 12th, Devin Ryan. 13th, Connor Holiak. 14th, Clint Martin. 15th, Jeremy Cohenauer. So all those guys running close together. Here's 16th, Russ Chapman, straight out of the Consi. 17th, that's Finn Collins on the 62. Should be 18th, Zoa Cross, and 19th, Chase Dunavant. And then 20th, maybe, Dominic Saunier. Yeah, 21st, Phil Bull. 22nd, Gunnar Fugler. 23rd, Stefan Guido. Long track this week. Not too many people have been lapped yet. 144 going through. That is Phil Doyon. He is 24th. 25th should be Fred Heather, and here he is on the 513, trying to get some points, but not there just yet. 26 would be Tyler Lewis, but we are not going to get to him, as here's your race leader once again, Craig Leak, coming through. And this time it looks like Colton Mitchell's closed up just a little bit there. Oh, and Leak, whoo! What a save! Oh my gosh. He almost just yard sailed over the old finish line. Was riding the nose all the way down the backside of that thing. That was awfully close there. Able to save it and able to keep the lead. Right now, Honeywell's moved into the 2 spot, so we've lost Colton Mitchell, who must have just gone down. I saw him, a glimpse of him as we pulled away there from our stationary camera, but he must have crashed not that long ago. He is still 3rd, though. Seidhoff now 4th. So, man, if Honeywell can go and win this moto, that's going to be a huge points haul for him. That'll be something like 7 points over Seidhoff, if Seidhoff stays where he is, and that is if Honeywell gets the lead away from Leak. Craig Leak is about 2.5 minutes plus 2 laps away from making it back-to-back moto wins. But he is going to have to hold off a very hard-charging Dade Honeywell, who we will now go on board with, doing a 2:05.4 as his last lap, which was also his best lap, and not the fastest lap of the race, I apologize. The fastest lap of the race was on lap 9, a 2:04.9 by Connor Holiak. He's running down in the 9 spot, though. So let's see what Honeywell can do. He is just going to try to chomp away at that lead that Craig Leak has. I'm very curious to see what this lap is going to be, because he is absolutely ripping. All right, let's see, over the line to start lap 14, 2:04.3. That just reset fastest lap of the race here on lap number 13. Honeywell on the move right now, trying to close up to the back of Mr. Craig Leak for the race lead, and he just might get it here. Time going to expire on this lap, I would assume, so we are looking at 3 laps to go. Leak launches down the hill. He's taking some different lines, and this is not going to help him whatsoever down the inside. Honeywell alongside and gets the spot for now, but Leak fighting back around the outside, but he is not going to do it. So a nice smooth move by Dade Honeywell to take the spot away from Craig Leak. That is now your race leader. Leak was able to, actually was unfortunately had a little mistake there as soon as Honeywell got by, so he is no longer right there for the fight for the lead. Colton Mitchell still sits third. Seidhoff going to try to run him down now as Burkeen runs in the 5 spot. Thorpe 6th, Cell 7th, Moxie 8th. Here's a battle for 9th, not really. A lapper between them, the 317. That's Cody Branson, I believe. Oh man, Jake Rose is trying to get around Branson there. It's pretty separated. Holiak keeping things close here, but maybe pushing a little bit too hard. Has the second fastest lap of the race, but that doesn't do you much when you're not running up right at the sharp end of the field. Here's a battle for third, starting to brew a little bit better now with Mitchell about to be under attack here from Seidhoff. Or, excuse me, just squeak up to the front of the pack. Yep, 30-minute mark just then, so it will be 2 laps to go. Next time by for Dade Honeywell should get that 2-lap board out from Mr. Grizzly Beard Man, who holds up the flags for us here. JLV holds up the yellow flags, but Grizzly Beard Man holds up the green, white, and checkered flags so well. All right, let's see how this battle for third works out. Seidhoff trying to only make it a 5-point differential if Honeywell does win this moto. He has got Mr. Colton Mitchell right in front of him. If he so chooses to take that position, it is there for the taking, but Mitchell is going to do everything he can to defend, and so far he is looking awfully good at defending, as he had that fantastic battle earlier on with Dade Honeywell. So how might this work out? Got a rider down on the other side of the track there. Just a reminder for those of you that may be inquiring about where the points are as we run. Seidhoff entered today with a 25-point, that is 1 full race distance, advantage on Dade Honeywell. 255 points for Seidhoff, 230 points for Dade Honeywell. So at this rate, the lead will be cut down to 18 points after this moto. And Seidhoff is trying to make that just down to 20 points with this pass here on Colton Mitchell if he can get it done. White flag will be out next time by, and Mitchell's defending very valiantly so far. It's still Honeywell over Leak as they are getting around Saunier now, who I believe is holding down the last points paying position, or one of the last points paying positions. He is in 22nd is Dominic Saunier, so they haven't really lapped up as high as I would have expected this week. And Seidhoff did get the move done on Mitchell. It must have been in the S-curves. So as long as he doesn't fall, I would assume he'll hold on to that 3rd spot. Looks to be a little bit faster than Mitchell today. Still a great ride by Mitchell to be up here at the front. Just going to miss out on the podium here in this first moto. White flag is out though. Honeywell looking for that moto win here at Southwick. Seidhoff, Mitchell, Burkeen, Dirk Thorpe, Jordan Moxie back here, Chase to Sell. Pretty solid ride for Jake Rose so far. Devin Ryan, Jeremy Cohenauer, also putting in some solid work. Finn Collins, Jesse Calloway, Gunnar Fugler, Chase Donovan coming into your living room. His teammate Zoe Cross right behind him. Different bikes, same team. Rush Chapman, Clint Martin, Connor Holiak. So Holiak's on way backwards now. In fact, he is just hanging on to a point, maybe not even anymore. Phil Bull came across the line last time by in 20 seconds. So Holiak is, actually he is in 20th, I apologize. I just saw it across the top of my screen. So we'll count everybody and where they finished. Oh, as Mitchell got back around Seidhoff, so we've completely missed out on this battle for third. Seidhoff down the inside, stuffs him and he puts him on the deck. What an aggressive move by Seidhoff. One that probably needed to be done to ensure that he was going to finish on the podium in this moto. Wow. Seidhoff means business. He wants this championship. And he just proved how bad I think he wants this championship, as every point counts. All right, so Honeywell puts in the ride of the season for him, I'm sure, as he came from pretty far back. And as long as he can navigate this final corner smoothly, should be better off to just check up and kind of not get involved in this business. It's Clint Martin going down right in front of him, so he's going to have to hop that rut. And Dade Honeywell wins Moto 1 here at Southwick. And Leak was down in the last corner, but he will get going in front of Seidhoff, who will hang on to third. So Seidhoff going in for the kill, gets by Mitchell on the final lap. Mitchell over the line fourth. Burkeen, solid comeback night for Mr. Matt Burkeen here in the 250 class. As I say, the talent never goes away. He'll end up fifth. Derek Thorpe, round of applause, sir. As long as he can hold on to this spot, he's got himself a sixth, which is just absolutely outstanding. Doesn't have a lot of movement on the bike. Very, very smooth and calculated rider is Mr. Thorpe, but it works for him. And he's just barely going to hold off Moxie here in the end. Yep, Moxie going for it on the last corner. Only going to end up 1.7 seconds back. DeSalle will end up in the 8th spot as Devin Ryan is clearing away back here in 9th. Chase Blakely has Jake Rose and Jeremy Cohenauer closing in. This could get interesting. And is that, no, Mora is a lap down on the 46. Or is that Finn Collins? No, it's not Finn Collins. All right, final corner. Ryan gonna hold on. Blakely, Cohenauer to the line with Jake Rose. Oh, it's so close. They're all pretty much on top of each other there. But for now, they all stayed in the same spots they were. Ryan over Blakely, Rose, and Cohenauer. Finn Collins comes across the line. He is 13th. Jesse Calloway, strong ride here. Rounding out 14th spot. Fugler ended up well and truly into the points after we saw him down at about 26th not that long ago. So he should end up 15th. Yeah, just misses out on Callaway. Dunavant, first time we've seen him in the points, I think all season. He's had a rough first half of the season that we didn't see him up there, but he ends up 16th. Rush Chapman 17th. Zoe Cross makes it a Moto Chasen 16-18 performance as he ends up 18th. And 19th will go to Phil Bull as Martin ends up 20th on cuts. Back behind those guys, it was Saulnier, Guido, Doyon, Simrock, Hinners, Lewis, Turner, Mora, Bell, Branson, Holiak, Ginter, Cooper, Heather, Charlie Way, Francis Heather, so not Fred Heather, the other Heather, Tanner Rogers, Mats Orstad, Jonathan Hughes, Zach Prokop. That was all 40 runners that made up the list. Inside of the top 20 was Martin, Bull, Cross, Chapman, Dunavant. Then that was Callaway and then Fugler. Collins 13th. Cohenauer jumps to 9th on cuts. My word. As, let's see, that was Collins ended up 13th. Jake Rose 12th. Chase Blakely ends up 10th ahead of Devin Ryan in 11th. So a lot of swapping between those guys. And then that is Chase DeSalle 8th. Moxie 7th. Thorpe 6th. Burkeen 5th, Mitchell 4th, Seidhoff 3rd, Leak 2nd, Honeywell 1st. So that is Moto 1 in the books. We should have the call in chat for 250 Moto 2 to go off in about 5 minutes, but hang with us. We'll be right back in just a moment as 250 Moto 2 will be coming up in just a second. Don't touch that dial. We are not going off the air, but we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and I know you guys are just looking at a image on the screen. Well, I'm just kind of taking a look at all the banter in chat, and I don't want to offend anybody with all this crazy nonsense that's going on in chat. I just like to keep up with what's going on. It appears though Devin Ryan and Connor Holiak not too happy with each other after that first moto. But the top 3 or 5 so guys pretty much happy with their performances, congratulating one another. So good to see. Good to see that camaraderie, but there is a lot of other stuff going on in the chat, so I will leave it to that. Meanwhile, we just got the call in chat, for that matter, for 250 Moto 2 to get kicked off. My name is Kellen Brauer here, live on Starry Systems TV. So glad that each and every one of you guys could join us tonight for this race. Let's see, who do we want to take a look at? Well, Mr. Craig Lee got the whole shot last time, so it's only fair, I believe, that we take a look at him this time as well. No warm-up lap this time, just straight in. So 250 Moto 2 is lined up, it's ready to go. Strap in, sit back. We've got 30 minutes plus 2 laps of 250 Moto 2 ready, set, go for you guys right now here on Starry Systems TV as they are off and running. Who's going to get that whole shot? It's another good start for Leak up the inside, and he may just have it as he sneaks around the inside. And it is the 53 of Craig Leak who takes that Ride365.com whole shot award. Both of them on the day go to him. He's going to watch out around the outside, though, as Mr. Gunnar Fugler on the 641 LaFlame Suzuki goes to the front. That is Jared Seidhoff's teammate, and he takes it well and truly away from Leak as he jumps to the outside right there. He's out front early. Leak right there in the 2 spot. So here we go again with Leak up front. He may be in a good spot to win the overall today with a second in that first moto, but watch out. Jared Seidhoff up in 4th, so a good start for him. I see that Honeywell looks to be in about the 10th spot at the top of my screen. We'll go back and see where he is. It's right behind Jake Rose and Jeremy Hinners. So good start for Hinners this time around. Let's see if he can't score some points. Our cohort here at Starry Systems, who will be broadcasting the 450 motos later on. Didn't get much time on the track this week, as he is like the many 21 or 22-year-old plus people in this game that have a day job, and when the track comes out at pretty much midnight for everybody not on the West Coast, the night before the race, not a lot of practice goes into the track. So good to see him and some of the other OGs, or what you call them, running up at the front. A little bit of a log jam going on in the corner there. Hinners may even make a pass on Moxie. And let's see, Honeywell trying to make a pass, but he just falls right in line. He may get past himself by the 660 of Zach Ginter down the inside. Crazy battle, and then look at Hinners. He pretty much damn near passed everybody. Almost got into the back of Chase Blakely. He's up to the 7th spot now, though. Jake Rose is going to try the inside. He may just get Hinners here. He's already got him into the corner. And now the inside. He might get both of those gentlemen. Oh, as Chase Blakely scrubs it down. Rose really forcing the issue down the inside. Makes a pass. That is very aggressive for the first lap of the race. I know he wants to get going. And Chase Blakely's going to make him pay for that. Just run him right to the outside of the track here. Look at this absolute freight train of riders, though, from 5th on back. Honeywell just got by Hinners there at the back of the screen with the 219 of Moxie also there in the mix. Look at all these guys. Oh, Jake Rose down the inside gets Blakely. Honeywell gonna follow? Yes, he will. Right through as well, and he's right onto the back of Jake Rose. Devin Ryan a little further up the road from these guys with Tanner Rogers. So Rogers no points in the first moto. Looking a little bit better this time around, as it's now Fugler over Seidhoff. So LaFlame Suzuki 1-2. So Leak must have ran into some issues. He was right behind Fugler, but not anymore. Look at this. Bet these two guys are happy. Trying to take a look in the TeamSpeak chat right above me. I think both of them are up there talking to each other. Just like these Verb Moto teammates last week in that second moto at Redbud. It's these LaFlame Suzuki teammates. 1-2, just another day at the practice track. Having some fun. And Fugler, a former winner in this class, knows how to get it done at the front, so perhaps a good start will light a fire under his ass to go get it done this moto. But he also might just be a good teammate to his points-leading teammate, Jared Seidhoff, and let him go and run away with this thing. We'll see what happens with the two teammates out front. Little mistake. Seidhoff down the inside, makes the pass for the lead. And just like that, Fugler back to second, Seidhoff out front. So Craig Leak will be the next of the runners trying to catch them. Then Tanner Rogers, Devin Ryan, and Dade Honeywell occupies the 6th spot. With Seidhoff leading, this is not the ideal scenario for Honeywell, but he did come through the field to win that first moto, so a better start this one could mean some positive things for the 17 machine. Looking awfully fast at this round, that's for sure. Man, I think these teammates just want to take off together. They're really kind of losing touch with Craig Leak here pretty quickly. He may have had a few mistakes to get back here, but he just has not been able to keep pace with them, and he's really not going to keep pace when he crashes like that. Fortunately, he stopped rolling very quickly because he landed on a tough block, or I should say a hay bale right there. Trying to get going, but he's completely sideways. This traction does not lend to turning around very easily. Honeywell on the outside. Wow, that was a good move. I thought for sure Leak had him there. But he did not. So Honeywell around Leak and into the number 5 spot. I just noticed actually Tanner Rogers went down, but Seidhoff coughed the lead back up to his teammate Fugler. Must have been a small mistake as they're still right together. But Tanner Rogers just tipped over, so Devin Ryan and Dade Honeywell and Craig Leak got by. So Honeywell going to set sail after Devin Ryan for the 3 spot. Meanwhile, Seidhoff has to go back to work on his teammate Fugler for the race lead. Oh, oy, oy, oy. So I did mention it though, Fugler has been a past winner in this series, in this class for that sake. And he knows how to get it done, so like we said, maybe a start. He just needed to start riding really good. I noticed at the end of the first moto that he had actually gotten up into the 15 spot, and he was really far back at one point, well and truly down the field. So it seems like he may have some speed to run up near the front. Did a 2:08.3 last time by. That's a little ways off, 4 or so seconds off from the best lap of the first moto that we saw. But it's still solid, it's consistent, it's right there where you want to be. Doesn't look like it's going to do much help, though, holding off his teammate Seidhoff, who's already right onto the back of him again. Whoa, Seidhoff, little kick. Funny, someone in chat just mentioned, oh, it's Seidhoff. Goes to the lead. Couldn't tell if that was a mistake by Fugler, or perhaps he just kind of moved over and let him have it once again. But oof, Seidhoff back into the lead. As I was saying, someone in chat just mentioned that their Wi-Fi is so bad they cannot see any of the video or anything, but they hear the sound. Which reminds me of when former MX Sim Pits owner and now MXGamingHub.com owner Joe Soller, we used to radio broadcast the motos in 2012 together. He had a radio setup that was pretty prime, and we did it over a radio. It's pretty fun. Good times back in the 2012 days. So Leak back in front of Honeywell somehow, so Honeywell either made a mistake or Leak is just ripping all of a sudden. Oh, and Honeywell's down. Oh, he just got a huge kick, swapped and hit the deck hard. And 2 at least people are going to go by, and that'll be it. They're pretty far ahead of whoever else is behind him. But that is Devin Ryan and Tanner Rogers going back through around Honeywell, who's back to 6th again. So with Seidhoff leading, I mean, Honeywell really needs to get up to 3rd to even make this a wash today. The gap was 25 points entering tonight. After that first moto, is down to just 20. Oh, Seidhoff, little mistake. Has enough of a gap on Fugler to hold the lead, though. So Fugler going to try to go after him again, but seems like his pace is just quite not there. He's riding really well. Second place could be on the cards for him if he keeps riding like this. But we are less than 10 minutes into this moto, so can't get too far ahead of ourselves yet. Still a lot of racing to go. Leak has gone way backwards, though, from how close he was, and he is now under attack from Devin Ryan and Tanner Rogers and Dade Honeywell. So we got a 4-rider train essentially going on here, with Leak just a little bit farther off the front from the other 3 behind him. This battle is raging. Honeywell trying to sneak down the inside. How did he almost make that line work? And then Tanner Rogers just cuts hard left and takes them both down. I thought for sure Honeywell was going to go down. Rogers was trying to cover the line. Now Rogers is getting up, almost got in the way. That's Jordan Moxie, as Devin Ryan is facing the wrong way on the track here. Fortunately, he gets going just in time, though. So now things are really separated. The top 2 are gone from Craig Leak, who has a nice little gap now over Devin Ryan. Moxie now sits in the 5 spot. Rogers gets up in 6 with Jake Rose, that looks like, going by him. So he's now in 6th, ahead of Rogers, who's 7th, and Honeywell, who's 8th. Thorpe is 9th. DeSalle is 10th. Collins is 11th. So all these guys pretty much where they were the first moto, except Honeywell. And Rogers, for that matter. Rogers scored no points the first moto. And he may not get a nice warm Christmas gift here from Dade Honeywell. It might be one full of anger, rage, and perhaps a sack of coal. After that maneuver, it didn't seem like there's any real reason why Rogers needed to come over. Honeywell was trying to give him a lot of room, really hugged the far left side of the outside of the track, almost hit the inside rut. I thought that's what was going to take him out when I said, oh, but did not. And Rogers kind of came over, so let's see. Honeywell stays low, gets the power to the ground up the inside. Let's see if he just parks him here. Nope, just moves right along and says later. Looks like Rogers may have been expecting it, though. So Jake Rose just made a mistake, and they might both get by him. Although he holds on to the spot over Rogers. 2 versus-pc.com riders. Of course, versus-pc.com, the presenting sponsor of this series. Of course, it's the Ride365.com Nationals, powered by versus-pc.com. But Versus PC puts out some great gaming equipment, computer software, and all that good stuff. So always recommend that you check them out. Since Honeywell got by these guys, he just said later. My word, he pulled a gap quickly on those 2. There's Moxie going after Devin Ryan. This would be for the 4 spot, as Leak and Fugler and Seidhoff would still be ahead of them. Oh, Moxie trying an inside line, and it might work. Man, that line has worked out quite well for some people today. Whoa, it's tightening up, and then out of nowhere, here's Honeywell, who's just absolutely flying to get to this battle. Take a look at timing and scoring, and I want to see what Dade Honeywell just did that last time by. He did a 2:04.695, resets fast lap of the race here on lap number 6. Oh man, you don't think Honeywell's fired up after that incident with Tanner Rogers? Look at that, all the way around the outside. Almost ends up on the inside of Moxie, who really slowed down over that hump. Oh, and is that Devin Ryan? Yes, it is. Devin Ryan on the Tiger Designs Honda ends up on the deck, and Jake Rose is going to get by him. Finn Collins will not. Oh man, Honeywell's freaking ripping right now. Trying to get Moxie now. And Fugler, he's gone from second backwards quickly. He's already behind Leak, well behind Leak, not even close anymore. So that would be third. That is what Honeywell wants to even this thing out on the day. It would be a 1-3-3-1 versus performance there. Oh, contact with Moxie, and Honeywell ends up on the ground. I think that was more or less Honeywell's fault. He really tried to force an issue at a spot that really wasn't somewhere he could make a pass stick, I don't think. And he paid the price. He's all the way back to the 8th spot now behind Finn Collins, Jake Rose, Devin Ryan all got by. Moxie came away from that pretty much unscathed other than the fact that he lost some time. Moxie having some issues. Devin Ryan's going to close in. Question in chat is, what do I think about the track this week? I personally like it. It's a pretty good Southwick. I think there's some funky things about the traction, but what are you going to do? It's sand. And I think Kyle Watts, Mr. 137 on the forums, did a great job building this. So kudos to him and all the Race Factory Gaming track building crew. Is Devin Ryan. Ends up down the inside of Moxie, and Moxie holds on. Wow, that was interesting. I thought Ryan had the spot for sure, but Moxie powers around the outside. Look at this 4-rider train here. Jake Rose and Finn Collins also in the mix, and then Honeywell's not far behind them, so he may get a nice big Christmas present here in a second himself. Ooh, Moxie gets pushed out of the way by Ryan, and he ends up sliding out. Honeywell is on the ground. Looks like he may have just got into Finn Collins. So Rogers and Thorpe go through, and Moxie now just gets going. So Jake Rose onto the back of Devin Ryan. This is absolutely the best we've seen of Jake Rose this year. He's really putting in a solid effort on that versus PC Honda, the top dog on the team right now. Trying to go after Devin Ryan. Working him over here, but not able to make the move just yet. Kind of funneling into these lines a little bit. Almost had a good drive, but Ryan able to get away a little bit cleaner there. Oh, Rose down the inside, shuts the door and makes the pass. Good move, clean move. He had to go to the outside line, I think, to make that one stick. So good on Devin Ryan to kind of check up and not get taken out by that. So let's go ahead and do our top 10 rundown. This time it will be brought to you by the folks at Moto Option, Moto Option Clothing. The title sponsor of the Moto Option Supercross Championship, which we ran 17 rounds of at the beginning of the year. They do some awesome stuff and have been a proud sponsor and title sponsor of that series for 6 years. Awesome stuff by Moto Option, so definitely check them out. Out front, though, it's your points leader, the number 20 LaFlame Suzuki. Jared Seidhoff looking awfully saucy out front. Looking so smooth, flashy, and good. All the things you want when you're leading the race and the points. Second place was handed back to Gunnar Fugler, it looks like. So the 641 LaFlame Suzuki makes it a LaFlame Suzuki 1-2 right now as he got back around. Craig Leak is under attack now from Jake Rose. What is Jake Rose made of this round, man? Up to third now. Jake Rose on the 822 versus PC.com Honda is up into third now. Where was this in Moto 1? My word, and Leak trying to fight back, but right now Rose is going to hold on to that spot. Leak fighting on the right side of the track. Look at that drive. Oh my, Craig Leak. That was insane. So Leak on the 53 Vermoto Suzuki goes back into third. Epic battle going on. Rose trying to fight back. We'll stick on this for a minute before continuing our top 10. See if it kind of separates itself out a little bit. All right. So Leak third, Rose fourth. Finn Collins, Vermoto Suzuki, runs in fifth. The number 62 machine out of Australia, putting in his best motor of the season right now. Good to see Finn running up at the front. Sixth place again, Derek Thorpe, man. What a solid day for Thorpe on the Team Volcom number 784 Kawasaki. Always good to see him running up at the sharp end of the field, man. Jordan Moxie, Mad Cape Suzuki rider, riding the KTM dyno on the 219. Runs in the 7th spot right now. Behind him, 8th place, goes to that Splitfire KTM ride. Colton Mitchell. Mitchell was 4th in that first moto. We saw him get taken out on the last lap by Seidhoff. So he's running 8th after a so-so start to this moto. 9th, 29 of Chase to Sell. Prime Design Graphics Honda. I don't have the skin though, so he's on the KTM dyno, as is pretty much everybody else. And 10th place, the TM Factory Racing Machine of Jeremy Cohenauer. Cohenauer looking awfully good out here inside of the top 10 right now. And that has been your top 10 rundown for 250 Moto2 from Southwick, brought to you by Moto Option Clothing. Check them out, motooption.com. Always good stuff. Question in chat to me: have I ever live streamed a race? Yes, I have. Red Bull Straight Rhythm, I raced. And I live streamed myself racing it, but that's the only time I think I've ever done it. Devin Ryan, Russ Chapman, Phil Bull, Tanner Rogers, Clint Martin, Tyler Lewis, Connor Holiak. Dade Honeywell is gone. Where is Honeywell? What in the world is going on? Last time over the line, Honeywell was in 13th, but now he's just gone. Dade Honeywell, Prime Designs Graphics, disconnected. What in the world has gone on? Did he get black flagged? No. Just done. He was back to like 13th. And Dade Honeywell is out of the moto. Your Moto 1 winner is done for the night. I don't know what just happened there. That is very strange. Wow. So while all that confusion works out, Jared Seidhoff just pretty much took control of this championship for the long haul. As if he goes on and wins this moto, he will leave here with a 45-point lead in the championship. And that's going to be pretty much insurmountable, I think, for Dade Honeywell with only 5 rounds, 10 motos left to go. Whew, that is crazy. So Seidhoff pretty much looking smooth and on his way to winning the overall here with a 3-1 performance. And perhaps really solidifying himself as the guy to beat in this championship. Nobody will even be close to him after this one. That's insane. He's got a 41-second lead nonetheless too. So that's crazy. A couple people asking things in chat. How are my college finals? College finals went well. Did well in all my classes. Graduated no problem. So I'm done with college. I'm happy. And someone asked that we go on board with Hinners. We'll do that. But first we're going to do our run through the field when Seidhoff gets to the mechanics area next time by. And this is where you guys get to see just how large the gaps are between each rider out on the track right now, between the positions and everything. We go through a whole lap and then we lock on to the leader again when he comes through again. So that's pretty much a lap through the field. We don't always get everybody, as the leader tends to lap some people while we're going through the field, but at least you can see everybody coming through the screen. And yeah, that's coming up here in just a minute. Got to go through this uphill turn into the turn 1 complex to start right there at the bottom of the screen and down past the mechanics area. So here is Jared Seidhoff of Flame Suzuki leading the way. And we have to wait 40 seconds to find who else is behind him. Chase Donovan, 51, coming through. On my timing and scoring, he is 22nd, so Seidhoff has lapped up to there to this point. Wow. So Seidhoff, this will give you a true testament to how big his lead is. Here's Zoe Cross in 23rd. This would be 24th Taylor Bell. No, sorry, 317 Cody Branson. He's in 29th. Then the 132 Taylor Bell. That's 24th. Just waiting on the next riders to come through. Here should be Craig Leake, the 53. That's 2nd place. And next up, the 641 of Gunnar Fugler. That is 3rd place right here. So that's just how big the gap Seidhoff has. That's pretty ridiculous. Next up should be Finn Collins on the 62, and here comes the Suzuki rider with Jordan Moxley right behind him on the 219. Then after that should be Colton Mitchell on the 831, and right behind him, Jake Rose on the 822. And should be the, now it's the 318. No, that's 318, a lap down, Jesse Callaway. Here is 8th, Derek Thorpe with 9th, Chase Assell right behind him, and 10th, Jeremy Kohenauer on the 150 machine. 11th will be Devin Ryan ahead of Phil Bull, and here is Devin Ryan on the 108 Tiger Designs Honda. 12th, Phil Bull on the 87. Team Volcom Kawasaki, there he is. 13th will be Rush Chapman over Tanner Rogers. Here's Rush Chapman. That is a lap down Zach Ginter. Here's Tanner Rogers on the 80. And then Clint Martin should be the next to come through. There he is on the 401. And then a rider a lap down 919, maybe that might be Ryan McNichol. All right, here is a bunch of guys, Holiak and Guido and Hinners, and I saw Lewis. Here's Chase Blakely and your race leader, Jared Seidhoff. So that has been a lap through the field. And yeah, Seidhoff checked out, so I will fulfill someone else's request to go on board with Jeremy Hinners, who is currently running in the 18th position. 2:11.8, his best lap of the moto last time by, trying to pick up a couple points after not scoring in that first moto. And he is only 3.5 minutes plus 2 laps away from that. He is trying to run down Stefan Guido on the 146. And I apologize, the stream just dropped there for a second. Should be coming back in a second, though. For those people watching on YouTube, you just heard a blip. Waiting on the stream to come back. Gonna blip again, I'm assuming, here in a second. Oh, and Hinners gets by Guido. All right, stream back up. Letting the people, find people, the live people in chat know that they can refresh, and the stream will be back up. Right now, Hinners is being put a lap down by your race leader, Jared Seidhoff. And let's see, he's just going to move off to the left side of the track here. Looks like Seidhoff 0.8 back. Hinners, don't go over the bars, my friend. So Seidhoff should be streaming by on the right side of the track here. There he is, number 20. Is trying to hold off Stefan Guido, or yeah, Stefan Guido for 17th. Oh, but that's not the way to do it. Gotta watch out, because here comes Mr. Chase Donovan and Edward Mora and Tyler Lewis. And Tyler Lewis is currently not scoring points. So Donovan gets by Hinners for 18th. Hinners back to 19th. Mora is 20th. Hinners on the verge of not scoring points this moto either. Been a rough last few rounds for Hinners. So let's see. Seidhoff may get back to the flag stand before the 30-minute mark, but it'll be close. So we'll keep an eye on that right now. Finn Collins has moved up to the number 3 spot. Moxie is now 4th. Mitchell's 5th as Fugler has tossed out the A-Wood anchor. Derek Thorpe still running a solid 7th. Yes, 7th. Someone asking for my first person settings. And there it is. 0.81. First person angle is 20, and field of view 110. Write it down, save it, keep it. Don't ask for it again. I kid. Alrighty, let's see, some battling, eh? Alright, Moxie and Mitchell. And here is Seidhoff, who I said may just get back to the flag stand. He's got to do it in less than 40 seconds, and he was behind Hinners, so that leads me to believe that he went down. He will probably not get back 30 seconds from now. I'm not seeing it. He's got to get through about 4 more corners. Pretty much going to run out of time in the same place they did last moto, honestly. 20 seconds. 15 seconds. And 10 seconds. He's 2 corners away from the finish. They're going to just miss the 30-minute mark to have 1 extra lap. We're hitting the 30-minute mark right now. He crossed the line at 30:01, so that means there are 2 laps to go, and believe me, JLV has fixed it, so it will actually count that as crossing the line after 30 minutes. It was awfully close. I reckon if he didn't have a crash or whatever happened with all these lappers in front of him, he may have just made it by. These lappers not really too keen to move out of the way, it seems right now. Don't think Seidhoff's too worried about these lappers just yet, just wants to get through them smoothly. He's got a sizable lead on Craig Leak. And Collins just went down, so Colton Mitchell might be in line here to get into 3rd, which will be 3rd overall in the day. In fact, I think he's already got that locked up anyway, where he is going 4-4 for 3rd overall, as Honeywell went 1 DNF. And Craig Leak right now is looking at a 2-2 for 2nd. And Jared Seidhoff looking at a 3-1 for the overall. So Colton Mitchell at a 4-4 should be the final spot on the podium. Good battle though, brewing for the 3 spot. Collins and Mitchell, with I believe Jordan Moxie not too far off the tail end of these guys either. And there he is right there. All right, so white flag should be out any second now here for Seidhoff. Should be right about the 32-minute, 5-6 second mark that we'll see the white flag come out. So you can see the time, top left hand of your screen. People always ask me, how do you put those things at the top left hand of your screen there? When you're in any game, no matter what game, you could just be single player, time trial, whatever. If you hit T and open up the text chat, and in text chat type /toggle time, all one word, TOGGLETIME. Turns on your time. If you hit toggle FPS, TOGGLE FPS, / that is, / toggle FPS. That cues in your frames per second at the top left hand of the screen, which you see at the very top of my thing. And your ping, I believe, is just / toggle ping, so TOGGLEPING. Can Mitchell pass Collins? Doesn't need it to get on the podium, but I'm sure he'd like the extra points. Leak still in 2nd. White flag is out though. And it's payday. Jared Seidhoff on his way to winning the Southwick National with 3-1 scores and taking a massive points lead into the next round, which will be Millville next week. Seidhoff will enter that if Honeywell stays in this championship hunt with a 45-point lead over Dade Honeywell. Seidhoff doing a little bit of celebrating now though, getting whipped out. At this point, I'm pretty sure he's going to realize just how far his championship lead is extended to. He's got the win in the bag, the overall win in the bag. Honeywell out of the 2nd moto, not really sure. I guess Honeywell just got upset with falling back in the field so much. Had a moto win perhaps in his grasp in this one. But But Seidhoff just rode a smooth, clean race, had his teammate, Gunnar Fugler, running second for a long time. Not necessarily blocking, but just making life harder on everybody else behind him. But Seidhoff has persevered, and in a big way, he's going to be super pumped with this victory. Jared Seidhoff brings it home, and Jared Seidhoff wins the Southwick National in the 250 class, wins the second moto, 3-1 scores on the day, huge points lead leaving. Pretty much about the best day he could ask for, barring a Moto 1 win. Leak will have to settle for second overall with 2-2. Ends up only 1 point behind Seidhoff in the scoring on the day. And Mitchell did get by Finn Collins, who's drifted back to 5th, so he must have gone down. Craig Leak is actually not finished yet. So he's bringing this thing to the line right now. And there it is, confirmed second overall for Mr. Craig Leak, 2-2 scores. Good day for Craig Leak. Good points day too. Mitchell ends up third, just holds off Moxie in the end. That's so across front flipping on the right side of the screen. Finn Collins comes home in 5th after running as high as 3rd in this moto. Gunnar Fugler. Not sure if he'll be disappointed or thrilled with this 6th, but Fugler was leading for a good chunk. Back to 2nd, and then was 2nd almost the whole moto, ends up 6th. Jeremy Hinners just joined us in the booth though.
Hello, hello.
Hinners ended up 18th, so he did get points that moto.
For once.
Finally went on board with you there.
Still not happy.
Battle to the end here between DeSalle and Thorpe, and it might get interesting as DeSalle almost went off the track, and he'll hang on for 7th. Thorpe 8th. That's still a solid day for Thorpe, going 6-8. Devin Ryan ends up 9th, and Kohenauer just holds off Chapman for 10th. So cuts could factor in there. Holiak ends up 12th, so at least he scored points this moto as opposed to the last one. Phil Bull 13th. Jake Rose was as high as 3rd in this moto and drifts all the way back to 14th, so he tossed out the anchor. Tanner Rogers looking at 15th. Edward Mora was 16th. Clint Martin 18th. Mr. Jeremy Hinners was 18th. And Chase Blakely 19th. Stefan Guido 20th. That was the last of the point scorers, and he had 19 seconds on Chase Dunavant. So that should solidify the top 20, unless Hinners cut the track a bunch.
No. I destroyed my qualifying time by about 2 seconds in that moto.
There you go. That's what I like to hear. All right, who are we waiting on? Lewis. All right, here's Branson over the line, and cuts are in, and it looks like top 20 stayed the same. Guido, Blakely, Hinners, Martin, Mora, Rogers, Rose, Bull. Actually, Holiak got the spot on Chapman. Kohenauer 10th. Ryan 9th. Thorpe gets 7th on DeSalle, who gets 8th. Fugler gets 6th. Collins 5th. Moxie 4th. Mitchell 3rd. Leak 2nd. And Seidhoff 1st. So the top 3 in this race are the top 3 on the podium at the end of the day overall. 3-1 for Seidhoff gets it over a 2-2 from Leak, and a 4-3 from Colton Mitchell puts him on the podium. Honeywell 1 DNF out of this moto.
Yeah,
so
what happened with him?
Very weird. I don't know. From 13th place, just disconnected. So we'll have to find out what happened with Honeywell and give you guys an update on that. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. Don't touch that dial. Jeremy Hinners will be back on the other side of this break with the live stream of the 450 class. We'll see you guys in just a minute.